Hi everyone. My name is Ahmed, and today I'm going to be presenting to you an exciting project we worked on for our Capstone project at Carnegie Mellon University, Africa. So together with my team in Ingenzi Tech, we built an LLM-powered ultrasound machine troubleshooting tool, and this tool aims to aid ultrasound device technicians and users of the ultrasound machine to be able to efficiently diagnose issues related to the ultrasound devices. So, a quick question: how do doctors diagnose patients? So we've all been to the hospital before, and we know how the way doctors diagnose patients is they first of all speak to the patients, ask how the patients feel, and that way they are able to get all the relevant information directly from the patient. So what if medical devices, medical device technicians and users could also speak to the devices to find out what the issue is? That would be amazing, right? Well, that is where Ingenzi Tech comes in. So we provide this solution by creating an AI-powered digital twin of the ultrasound device, which users can interact with through a chat interface. So the motivation for this project was we identified a problem, especially in low resource communities where healthcare facilities face extended downtimes due to limited qualified technicians. And this goes a long way to compromise operational efficiency. It strains their repair budgets and ultimately delays critical patient care. And the solution we are presenting, as mentioned before, is an automated AI chat agent, which is going to provide real-time diagnostic and repair assistance to the users of the ultrasound machine and also the technicians. Our solution also comes alongside other features including error code lookup and troubleshooting, device logs retrieval and self-test, and also scheduled maintenance features. So we'll go right into the demo. So to use this application, first of all, need to visit this repo and fork or download this repo. Then to set it up, we have a detailed README file here, which you can go through to set up the project and get it running. Once you're able to go through this and you have the project set up and running, you'll be presented with this beautiful interface here. So our application can either be used directly on this beautiful interface here, or you can chat as a standalone chat application. Then if you're an admin of the system, then you can track feedback here to better the system with time. So, as mentioned before, our solution is kind of like a digital twin of the physical machine, and we've named this digital twin Tony. So down here you can see Tony is already alerting us that is the digital twin of the ultrasound machine, and we can chat with him if we need any help. So we can either chat with Tony right here or from the standalone application here. So, I'll just chat here. So, for our use case, let's say I am a medical device technician. I've been called to fix this ultrasound machine. I come, and then just as a doctor would have done, I want to kind of find out what is wrong with the machine directly from the machine itself. Alright, so since I have a digital twin of the machine which knows everything about the machine from its last service date, it knows how to fix the machine, it knows like every error the machine encountered over time, like it knows everything about the machine. So I'll just speak to it directly. So I visit Tony here, and then I tell Tony the machine is not starting up, because that's kind of the issue I came to find. So I send in this query, and then what happens is Tony communicates with its physical self and then brings up this response. So Tony says, if the machine is not starting up, here are some troubleshooting steps I can follow to diagnose the problem. So I should check the power connection, which I've checked and is actually powered on. I should inspect the power switch and confirm the power switch on the machine is turned on. Yes, I've done that. I should examine the power supply. All of that is done. I should check the fuses, inspect internal connections. I should perform a hard reset. I should look for error indicators, and then I should consult the service manual. So I want Tony to kind of do more to find out on his own what the issue is. So I tell him, figure out what the issue is. You can run a self-test or retrieve device logs. So Tony would automatically trigger the self-test functionality on the machine and also try to retrieve device logs from the device's syslog, right? Which he has done that already. So he has Tony triggered the self-test functionality, and Tony says here that this is a summary of the self-test report. So the probe calibration failed, obviously, so that's an issue. And imaging modes 2D failed, Poplar failed, Doppler failed, M mode failed. Network is connected, the system status is on fail, and it is recommending that I recalibrate the probe. That's from the self-test. Then from the logs it retrieved, it also says the firmware is outdated. There was an unexpected shutdown and all of that. So the recommendations is giving me, the first one here is I should recalibrate the probe, right? So I kind of want Tony to guide me through how to do that. Then I would also ask Tony to guide me through how to do the firmware update. Okay. So you can see I'm not doing it. The machine, the digital twin of the machine is guiding me to fix the machine because he has access to the machine's service manuals, user manuals, error code description. It knows everything about the machine. It knows how to service it. So it is going to guide me through how to do it. So I just ask it, how do I recalibrate the probe? So we do that first, then later, once we are done with that, we'll ask it to guide us on how to do a firmware update as well. Yeah, so it says, first of all, I should prepare the machine, ensure it is powered on. I should access the calibration mode by navigating to the system settings on the device, typically access through the system's main menu, and look for calibration or probe. And I should select the probe I want to calibrate and follow the on-screen instructions, complete the calibration, test the probe, and consult the manual if needed. So this is pretty awesome. So following this guide, the technician, have been able to successfully recalibrate the probe. Right? Mission accomplished. So now I then move on to the second recommendation it gave, which is now, how do I update the firmware? So you can see the machine is basically guiding me to fix it, right? Which is pretty amazing. Instead of me having to like scroll through pages of service manuals, user manuals, and a lot of documents, this digital twin has access to all of that, and it automatically guides me on what to do, right? So it says I should check for firmware updates. I should contact Philips support or visit the official website, and then once I visit the website, I should download the firmware update and then transfer the updated file to a USB, back up my important data, connect the USB to the ultrasound machine, access the update mode by navigating to the system settings and look for the update option, initiate the update process, complete it, verify, and test the system. And this is pretty awesome, right? So as a technician, I've been able to speak to the machine, figured out what the issue was, and I was able to fix the machine without a lot of difficulty, right? And this would save the health facility a lot of time that would have been spent trying to fix the machine, which ultimately results in device downtime in the in the facility. So there are a lot of other features I can access through Tony here. So Tony can also help me with maintenance scheduling. So if I ask Tony, when was the last time you were serviced? So Tony is able to tell me the last service date was on March 18th, 2025. And then the next scheduled date is set for April 19th, 2025. And if we check on the dashboard, that's actually correct. So this is the next scheduled date, and this is the last maintenance date. So I can change the maintenance date. I can tell Tony to reschedule the maintenance. So reschedule the maintenance to August 18th or 25th, 2025. So I'm not doing anything on the interface, right? Tony automatically triggers that functionality and reschedules the date for me. And now if I refresh this dashboard here, we can see from here that the date was successfully changed without me having to do anything. I simply had to chat with Tony, the chat assistant. So this is pretty awesome, right? And if I had like a specific error that I needed help with, assuming when I came to the machine, I came to find an error on the system, right? So I could say I have error 0060 because that's the error I came to find on the machine. Tony is able to look this error up, finds the description of the error, and it says the error description is that the scan head prompt checksum is incorrect, and it suggests replacing the bad scan head. So it goes ahead to also show me how to resolve the issue. So first of all, it says I should replace the scan head first. So I should first attempt to replace the scan head. If replacing the scan head doesn't resolve the issue, then there might be a communication problem. And third of all, I should also kind of do a software check. So I want Tony's help again on how to replace the scan head. So I ask it, how do I replace the scan head? So you can see all I'm doing is chatting with the assistant here, which is the digital twin of the physical ultrasound machine, and I'm getting all the help I need to be able to fix the machine, right? Which is pretty awesome. Okay, so it says I should turn off the machine, disconnect the existing scan head, inspect the new scan head, connect the new scan head, and it goes ahead for each, it goes ahead to like give detailed instructions on how to actually do it, right? So it says I should align the connector with the port on the ultrasound machine and gently push the connector into the port until it is fully seated. This is pretty awesome, right? So there are a lot of functionalities. I think we've already like showcased the self-test functionality where we were able to invoke the self-test functionality through the chat. We were also able to retrieve device logs through the chat. We've been able to get help with error code. We've been able to get help with maintenance, scheduling, and all of that, all through the chat without having to do anything. So this is pretty awesome. And as mentioned before, it is going to save a lot of repair time. So if conventionally I would have had to either have a lot of experience, and even sometimes with the experience, I will still have to kind of refer to like service manuals, user manuals to be able to find out what the issue is, which is going to take a lot of time, right? And sometimes as technicians, they start off with like try and error, which sometimes ends up causing more problems to the device, right? So with this, I didn't have to do try and error. I was able to directly speak to the machine through its digital twin, and I was able to get all the help I needed. Now the machine is up and running. Who really did it, right? Yeah. So as mentioned before, everything can be done through the chat assistant here. But if for one reason or the other you prefer to interact with the system through the visual interface here, so we have this beautiful interface here. So I could have looked up the error here by entering the error code 0060, and then it's gets me the description of the error here, right? Just that on the interface here, it only gives me the description. I'm not able to ask it for help on how to say replace the bad scan head and how to do all of this. So those are some of the capabilities that this digital twin here provides me, as opposed to if I'm just using the interface here, right? Similarly, I could have also scheduled the maintenance through the interface here. So I could select like a new date. I could select a new date here, say June 19th, select the time, and then using the interface, I'm able to add this to my calendar, right? So it has added there, the event was added to my calendar. So on the 19th of June, I will be reminded to service the machine, which is pretty awesome because one issue is this is going to encourage proactive maintenance, because for most of these machines, they are not maintained in a really long time, which ends up like which is not really healthy for the machine, because proactive maintenance generally is really good, even if we don't need to wait for the machine to break down before we try to maintain it, right? So other features we provide is we also provide the technicians the ability to be able to download the service manuals directly in case they want to access it. So they can search here depending on the type of manual they want, user manuals, service manuals. They are also able to retrieve device logs directly from the interface here. So if I click retrieve device logs here, you could see it retrieved new device logs, added it to the device logs here, and then give me this beautiful chart here, right? Which is, and you, as mentioned, as we saw before, I was able to invoke this functionality right from the chart here without having to come through like all of this process on the visual interface here. I could also initiate the self-test here, which again also invokes the self-test functionality on the physical device and gives me the summary here. But then all in all, you could see that using the chat interface provides me more value because I'm able to interact, follow up, and get a lot more help from the chat assistant here, as opposed to the interface that only gives me like information without me being able to do any follow-up. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. We hope you found this helpful. Thank you very much. And yeah, so this was brought to you by this team, this amazing team, myself, Ahmed, Clemens, Atabon Fak, and Mohammed.